Okay, John, could you start this call off, please, and let us know a bit about yourself? Thank you.
I'd be delighted. I'm just trying to, for some reason, something's going on. It's funny going on my iPad. There we go. Right, and I'll clear that. Right, well, yeah. Hello, Sharon and Ellie. My name's John Moody, and Stuart and I have known each other for a good few years, and I came across this technology 3.5 years ago, more than 3.5 years ago now. And if you're looking at this, for the first or second time, then you may well be skeptical. And don't worry about that, because absolutely everybody is, and I certainly was when I was first introduced to it. What sort of I'd ask you to do really is just sort of try and stay with us with an open mind. That there are things that we will share with you that may help you in dealing with it, but it is perfectly natural, and an awful lot of people are very, very skeptical to start with. When I was first introduced to it, I was the thing that got my interest was hearing that golfers get good results with it. I play golf. I network with a lot of golfers, and I thought it would be useful to find out more, to see whether this product might actually work in the golf world, and so it did. And I have lots of customers who play golf who find wearing this technology helps them. It helps with energy, helps their aches and pains. They enjoy the golf more, to be honest. But that on its own really wasn't really enough to make me get really excited about it. It was useful. But what I found out was that the guy who invented this technology was looking for something to help people with MS. His mother was diagnosed with MS when he was a teenager, and so that caught my interest. I have a friend who has MS, so when I got hold of some of these products, I went to see her. She'd had a fall a couple of years earlier. It has really dented her confidence. She was very wobbly on her legs. To the degree that even around the house, she was using a walking stick to get from room to room, or even just across the room to put the kettle on. Yet, quarter of an hour later, after I'd explained to her what this technology does, and I'd shown her one or two tests where she could actually experience the benefit of this technology, we were talking, and she was just standing in the middle of the kitchen floor on a pair of insoles, which are some of the earlier products that we had. And after just 3 or 4 minutes, she suddenly smiled and put her arms out like this and started swinging around. And I was blown away. I thought, wow. And that really made a huge difference for me, because if we can help people with those kinds of conditions, then that's a really important benefit to have. And it's not just about getting old boys around golf courses. So that's how I dealt with my skepticism to start with. Since then, I've seen lots of very, very surprising and really amazing results that the technology's got, which we might be able to share with you later. But Stuart, please share with Sharon and Ellie your story about how you overcame your skepticism.
Yeah. So I was massively skeptical about the whole thing. So a chap called John Moody rang me once. This John Moody here. And he said, at the time I was doing golf psychology. So I'm a psychologist, NLP master coach, hypnotherapist, and all sorts of things like this. And I was doing golf coaching at the time. John rang me and said, "Hey, Stuart, I've got this great new thing coming from Canada, which is helping golfers to hit the ball further, straighter, longer, further and longer, crikey. And they're getting more energy, more power, more stamina, more in the game mindset." "That's really interesting, John," said I. What is this wondrous thing that you've got? Is it kind of a sheen or a training thing?" "No, it's socks." Incredulous look at the phone. "What? It's what? Socks?" "John, really?" He said, "And they come with a 30-day money-back guarantee. So why don't you give it a try, see how you get on, and then you can take it from there." "Okay, how much is it?" "Seems sensible enough to me. Let's give it a go." 100% money-back guarantee, I said. "Yes," he said. "That's fine. I can give that a go. That's not a problem." So I thought, give it a go. And after 2 weeks, he rang me and said, "Stuart, how are you getting on?" I said, "John, this is a scam. These socks don't work at all. No effect on me whatsoever. Are you wearing them in bed at night? What? Wearing them in bed? He said 24 hours, 7 days a week, right? Ah, really? In bed at night? First night I tried it and had a rubbish sleep because I hadn't worn socks for years. It was just that horrible feeling. The second night I had the most amazing and bizarre dreams and then woke up feeling really refreshed in the morning. Why am I talking about socks like this? It's because this was the foundation point of the technology we're talking about today. So from the sock, well, it actually started with insoles, then with socks, and then we've developed into to patches, which obviously you can wear on your skin, and it will create those great effects. So massively skeptical, got the result from it. I started to discover that my memory had improved, or my recall had improved, my hearing quality improved, my physical performance in the gym had improved, my recovery after the gym had also improved as well. So that's why I started to look into it a lot more. And frankly, I was as skeptical as anything. I am a scientist. I've got a Bachelor of Science. I've been in the Royal Air Force for 20-something years. So it took a lot to convince me. But the thing that convinced me was just giving it a go. With the knowledge that I've got a 30-day money back guarantee, right? And again, that's exactly the conversation we had, John, all those months and years ago. So since then, I've looked into more of the science, looked into the fact that neuroscientists in America are all over it. And there are two very prominent neuroscientists in America, Dr. Robert Thatcher and Dr. Zach Bush, who both tried to disprove it, but they failed. We've got all sorts of brain doctors in America that are prescribing it to their customers, surgeons, we've got personal trainers, all sorts of people that are prescribing it to their people. So you have the full knowledge that it's safe to use, and it's also been looked into in great to a great depth of knowledge. What I'd like to do is I'd like to run through some slides, if that's okay, just to explain a bit about the background, a bit about how they work and this sort of thing. And then just make sure I'm sharing the sound, because I'm absolutely rubbish with this kind of technology. Wearing the socks is brilliant technology. Information technology I struggle with. So let me just share my screen. Can you see that, John?
I can see it.
Thank you. Okay. So Superpatch, the Superpatch company, as I said, it was morphed from these insoles, the socks. We still have those available for people that don't perhaps want to try the patches, but the socks and insoles is where we've morphed from, and some of the wearing items as well. But let me introduce you to Jay Dallywell, the chap that invented this technology, and let him explain in his own words, in very in my language, as in very easy to understand words, about how this technology works. Jay, take it away.
Hi everyone, it's Jay with Superpatch. I hope everyone's having a great day. People are always asking me, Jay, how do these super patches work? So today I'm going to give you guys a high-level explanation. So first things first, every physical, emotional, psychological function has a corresponding neurocode in our brains. And these neurocodes, which are just messages, sometimes get stuck or damaged for 1,000,001 reasons, but that leads to poor health, poor wellness, and even poor performance. So after 12.5 years of research at Superpatch, we actually decoded these messages. We decoded the neural code that can help and control the neurofunction of physical, emotional, and psychological function. So every single Superpatch has a pattern and ridges in it. And when these ridges come in contact with our skin, the patch uses the receptors in and on our skin to send that message to our brain. And the brain decodes it. So every single super patch is generating a very specific signal that's responsible for a physical, emotional, or psychological function. And that's how the super patches work. So all 8 super patches have their unique QR code that's sending a unique message that our brain decodes. And that's why we can help with so many wellness, performance benefits that people are seeing. So till next time, you guys have a great day. Talk to you soon.
And Jay is on a personal mission of his to try to get 1 billion people around the world to get into this technology, because he knows the great results he's seen with the brain scans and the testimonial stories that people have got, as well as the scientific studies that we've done into the work into these patches, socks, and insoles. So what do these patches give to you? Well, you can see on the slide here that we've got lots of different areas that when you work on your brain, you can improve in lots of different ways. So some of the key things to pick out on there is pain management, focus and attention, that is, in terms of keeping yourself on task, because we are so affected by squirrels and other things that distract us, especially on TikTok. If you've ever tried to go on social media and you've got TikTok open in the background, you will always be distracted and always go away from your focus. Energy and restful sleep, some of the great things, as well as stress relief, rehab and recovery in terms of the muscles not aching so much after you've been exercising. So one of the things I certainly love to do, and other people love to do as well, is to take this equipment or this technology to other people to let them experience for themselves. And on one of those such occasions, a few weeks ago in Alabama, in USA, there was a lady called Brandy who went to one of the shows that we conduct. This is with Steve Schultz and Kerry Helms. They realized very quickly that this lady was having just a standard kind of result, but they decided to video it. And I'll let you see what happened on here. So listen to their own voices.
How many years have you had an issue going up and down the stairs?
Since I was 33, I'm 46, so you can do the math, I can't.
13 years.
Thank you.
Go ahead, please be careful. Okay, I'm gonna put the Liberty patch on her right now. And she's gonna do all of that again.
And by the way, just walking up and down this many times, usually I'm in a lot of pain too, and that's not as bad.
This is her third time doing it. There you go.
It's amazing. Utterly amazing.
Utterly amazing. And I know because Kerry was speaking to me just recently that Brandy is not an employee; she's a normal person, and you could see the amount of effort it took her to concentrate on walking up and down the stairs. So she couldn't even work out how long she'd had this issue for. She was struggling to use her brain in a cognitive way while she was struggling to walk in that direction. So when she talks about having gone up and down stairs a few times and her not feeling completely tired out, again, that's one of the benefits we've noticed as well in terms of the energy that people have. So what we have is an entire range of different patches available. So there are 9 on this slide. We are about to get one more patch in stock in the very near future, which I'll talk about towards the end. So one of the most amazing patches is this one called the Freedom Patch, which is about pain. Now there are, according to the NIHCE, called our NICE organisation UK, 10 million people in the UK are affected by chronic pain. And did you also know that we are the world's leading country for opioid use for pain management? We've taken over from America, which is an absolute shocking thing to realise. So how does the pain patch work? Let me just show you a quick video. This is on YouTube, available to anybody. And again, this just tells you how the pain patch works.
Today, we're going to talk about our Freedom Patch. This is the world's first and only drug-free, non-invasive, and non-electrical pain patch. To understand how the Freedom Patch works and delivers pain relief, we need to understand a little bit about the neuromatrix of pain and how it works. Every physical, emotional, and psychological function has a neural code that controls and regulates it. The various brain regions and signals that help manage pain are called the neuromatrix of pain. Sometimes these signals get stuck, damaged or corrupted. This leads to poor pain management. Leading studies show that a well-functioning neuromatrix with synchronized signals can lead to reduced pain. So, how do we help the neuromatrix of pain work better? Easy. Just peel and apply the Freedom Patch to where we are feeling the pain. That could be our shoulder, neck, arm, leg, knee, back, or even hip. The Freedom Super Patch has this intricate and special pattern of ridges. It's like a QR code. We already know that our skin absorbs and transmits information from many different types of stimulation, including light, heat, and cold. With the Freedom Super Patch, the skin uses our sense of touch to absorb and transmit the information. When these ridges in the pattern come in contact with our skin, they stimulate skin sensors that generate and send a very complex signal to our brain that helps balance the neuromatrix of pain. A recent study shows the Freedom Patch helped significantly reduce pain for people within minutes. In fact, the study shows that the Freedom Patch helps with pain from arthritis, myofascial, musculoskeletal, and neuropathy. The Freedom Super Patch is a scientific breakthrough that is FDA registered and comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Just imagine less pain without drugs or related risks. The Freedom Patch is an amazing solution for immediate drug-free pain relief.
Okay, so the other patches we have are the REM patch, which helps sleep, and according to the National Health Service, 1 in 3 people are affected by insomnia or some sort of sleep issues, which obviously have a knock-on impact in some different way in their lives. Some other patches we have are the Peace Patch, which is about calming down anxiety and levels of stress, and I've got some great personal experiences of people with stress and anxiety, just by putting this patch into their arm, just changing their levels straight away. Other ones we have are Defend, which is about protecting your health, boosting your immune system, and just in terms of the amount of people that use different products for immune system, $20 billion in the global health supplements market was spent in 2021. It's a massive market available for us to look into. Liberty. So this is the patch that works in the brain stem, and when the brain stem is calm and relaxed, we see things like better balance, better coordination, better stability, better energy. And I want to get this under every person over the age of 60 personally. So 250,000 people hospitalized by a fall every year. And the shocking thing is that if a person aged over 65 has a hip fracture, you've got a 1 in 3 chance of dying within a year. So the longer we can keep people standing on their feet for in better balanced condition, then the better it is for everybody. Pay attention like never before. So this is a patch specifically for people with ADHD, ADD, and perhaps on the autistic spectrum as well, to help their brains get sharper, get more focus, better attention, and just get them onto task a lot better than they were before. Again, with no drugs, no medications. Athletic performance, we have a patch for athletes, people that perform at all kinds of sports. And again, better balance, better power, better stability, better speed of reaction, lots of other things. We have a huge marketplace for these patches as well, in terms of the 11 million footballers, 2.3 million golfers in the UK and Ireland, etc., etc. Study like never before. So if you know people that are going through exams, and I know that GCSEs and A levels are coming up in the near future, as well as university exams and things, this helps the brain to just get more attention. So it's attention network in the brain just gets sharpened up, and it allows people to pay more attention to what's going on. Calories, we have a patch also that helps to speed up the basic resting metabolic rate. So an increase of 25% of your background metabolic rate will lead you to burning more calories, and therefore you'll be in more chance of being in a calorie deficit and therefore lose weight. So this overall, this group of patches here has a $4.5 trillion market opportunity worldwide. And the other one I said I would mention is we have, in fact, 2 new patches coming out. There's one called Kick It, which is an anti-addiction patch. And we've got another one called Joy, which is going to be a happiness patch, for want of a better expression. We had some happy socks at one stage, but now we've developed a technology to bring it into a patch. Not yet released, but they are coming in the near future. So very quickly, in terms of sporting performance, what we have is a load of test results completed by various universities and sporting faculties. And we found that, for example, balance and stability is improved by 31%, average power, concentric force, lots of other details have changed as well. We've had basketball players jumping an inch and a half higher. We've had sprinters reacting quicker, which showed overall showed a consistent improvement in pain, stiffness, and physical function. So that's all I want to share really in terms of the slides. So let me hand back over to John for any interesting stories. John.
Sorry, you're talking to me.
Yeah, John.
My sound's been in and out, and I was I had to jump back on again. Right. So, who has a story they'd like to share with us?
I'm really pleased to see Anne Smith in this call, because I know that Anne has got an amazing story to share.
Hi, I'm happy to share my story. I was introduced to when it was socks and insoles back in July 2019. I suffer with fibromyalgia. I've had it for about 14 years and actually had to give up teaching because of it. A friend rang me and said, I've got these socks and insoles that will help you with your fibromyalgia. They've got a patch in them, they'll help you. I said, don't be ridiculous. How can a pair of socks help me? Anyway, I was open to try it, so she sent them, and I was off on holiday for 3 weeks to Canada. I was a bit worried I wasn't going to be able to keep up with the rest of the family, because normally I'm in pain constantly, exhausted very quickly, and was really worried about it. So anyway, I put the insoles on and I wore the socks as well. And it was incredible. I was a different person. I found I wasn't getting the exhausting pain as soon as I started walking like I usually do. I wasn't tired at the end of the day. I was walking faster. I was keeping up with everyone. In fact, I was probably less tired than the rest of the family. Came back. I played tennis, but I could play once a week, but I'd be exhausted afterwards. I was playing, friends were saying, what's wrong with you? Because I was running around a lot faster. I was hitting the ball harder. And now I actually, well, I play league tennis from the club and play 2-3 times a week and don't suffer particularly with it. And it's not a cure, but it certainly helped me be able to live my life again, whereas before I brain fog and everything made it worse. So, and all the other patches that have come on board have helped me as well. So the flow patch has helped with the brain fog. Pain patch, the freedom one, helps when I've got a particular pain like I have in my foot. So if I'm playing tennis, I put that one on. And I wear the defend patch for the immune system all the time as well. And since then, if something started to come, then it seems to disappear again. So yeah, incredible. I've got lots of stories from other people as well and share at some time.
Brilliant, Ange. Thanks very much. Do you know one thing that struck me when you were talking there is that people notice the difference because you're hitting the ball back at them quicker on the tennis court. What are you doing? What are you doing?
Yeah.
And also a quick question about why you are now talking to people about it, because when somebody first introduced you to this technology, I guess you'd never heard of it. You had no intention of sharing it with other people. Why did you get involved?
2 reasons really. Firstly, because it meant I could get 25% off the products, and the more I got to learn about the products and the company itself and what a amazing owner Jay is and how supportive everybody was, I thought, well, if it's helping me, I'd like to help other people. I was a teacher for 28 years and that involved helping people, and it's sort of given me a purpose back again. So that's the reason why.
Yeah, brilliant. So John, I'll share a story from my experience as well. So I went to a networking event, an in-person networking event, which is so great to see people again. And I was doing some demonstrations, showing people's balance, coordination, stability, range of motion. And there was a bit of hubbub or a bit of noise around the place. And one young lady came across. She had an NHS lanyard around her neck, and I just thought, uh-oh, here we go. I'm going to get some grilling here. And she came across. She said, "I hope you don't mind. I'd like to have a go with that because my balance is not great." She said, "I'm feeling really anxious about it, and I don't want to look silly in front of other people." And I said, "That's okay, not a problem. What's your name?" "Abby." "Great, Abby. Would you mind putting this patch onto your arm?" So I put it onto her. I think it was her right forearm, which is the peace patch. And then I said, "Just come back to me in 20 minutes and just let me know how you are." In the meantime, she was standing around just watching and chilling and relaxing. And her friend said to her, "Abby, how are you doing?" She said, "You know what, Julia? It's something strange has happened in my butt. I can't put my finger on it." But she said, "I don't know. I feel like singing. I feel just happy, relaxed. I don't know what it is." And I said, "Right, come on then, Abby. You ready to do your balance assessment?" She said, "Oh yes, I'm ready for that." So we checked out her balance, and she was, to her word, just completely off balance. I literally just had to pick one finger up, and she went tipping over like that. So I then put the patch onto her, and then I couldn't move her. And then she said, this great thing I can't forget. She said, "Would you mind if I stood on one leg?" "Abby, I'm not responsible for the results of you standing on one leg." So she did this. She stood on one leg, ramrod straight, and she just went, "I cannot believe this. I can't stand on one leg for any time whatsoever." She said, "I'm standing on one leg, and watch this." And she started to walk around the room like a slow flamingo. One leg, then the other leg. She just kept going, "I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Look what you've done." And I said, "Not only that, Abby, but your anxiety seems to have gone completely," which is great. So that's my story about one of my many standout stories with people with this technology.
Great stuff. Okay. Well, we're approaching the half-hour mark, so would you like to wrap up here?
Yeah, just I'd like to invite if anybody has any quick questions, it might be an opportunity to deal with those. If we run over a little bit over time, I'll perhaps stop the recording early, and then we can cover the questions afterwards.
Hi, Stuart. Thank you for that. That was really helpful. I have a couple of questions, if I may.
Sure.
I've heard you talk about the technology before, so I sort of had a sense of what I was coming into. But the patches are of particular interest to us. My daughter is a dancer, and doesn't. If she was to consider patches, doesn't necessarily want it to be visible. Does it have to be on a certain part of your body? So we're particularly interested in the peace patches at the moment. I think that's what we've sort of started talking about this evening since I messaged you earlier. But so do they have to be on a certain part of the body to be effective?
And would you like to cover that?
Yeah, they can be placed anywhere. All the patches can be placed in any position on your body, so they don't need to be shown.
Yeah, okay, brilliant. And my daughter, sorry, she's sitting here next to me but doesn't want to speak. She also has eczema. Has there been any known sort of reactions? It's mild, to be fair, and it does flare up more on certain parts of her body than others. But is there any sort of concerns or anything we should be mindful of or look out with in regards to that?
Try and put it on areas where she hasn't got the eczema.
Yeah.
It is hyperallergenic, but I know some people do struggle with it a bit.
Yeah.
I can't keep putting it in the same place. I have to keep moving it around.
Yeah.
I've got quite sensitive skin. But
Okay.
it's worth a go.
And so my final question is it final? I don't know, I might have another one in a sec, bear with me. Once you put it on, you've talked about sort of feeling those results quite quickly. Is that fairly standard? We're not looking for a miracle cure here. We're just looking for something just to, bring the anxiety down a peg or two. So if you're feeling quite anxious and overwhelmed, is it, I think you've mentioned some quite short times there. I was sort of thinking you put it on, it have to build up, but actually, is it known to be quite, it'll work quite quickly?
as I said to you before in the presentation, that in fact, after the presentation, I kind of got this figure in my head of 20 minutes. So that's what we normally say to people, is it takes about 20 minutes for it to start working on the anxiety, calming down the anxiety system. But again, within 10 minutes, I saw a result in Abby. Other people, my sister is one of them. She's had a great result with the peace patches as well. And she said it's just whenever she's feeling a little bit off kilter,
Yeah,
she puts a patch on and it gets to work very quickly. And obviously, the longer you have these patches in contact with your skin, the better the result in terms of the long-term effect on the brain.
so how long does a patch last? So if you put a patch on in the morning before college and she goes off and dances and sings and things, you know, does it need to be changed frequently, or does it last 4 hours a day?
Yeah, so it's a 24-hour patch. So what we find, what I find is that some patches will keep me awake at night if I wear them during the night. So my flow one, for example, which is about attention and concentration. If I wear a flow one at night, it'll help me counter the effects of the REM sleep patch for me in my body. Other people find they can wear it for the full 24 hours with no problems whatsoever. So what we say to people is give it a try, 24 hours at a time. So basically the routine should be, you sleep with all the technology on, you get up in the morning, you have a shower, you take it off, you wash the areas, you put it onto a different area, and then you put a fresh patch on every day.
Okay, brilliant.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah,
That's
thank
really
you.
helpful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so I shall stop the recording. But before I do that, actually, just make a disclaimer. Obviously, all the things we've talked about today, this technology does not detect, prevent or cure any diseases. As Ange pointed out beforehand, it's not a cure for MS. It will help to reduce the symptoms in some cases, and it works in the brain. So if the brain has a need to tend to a certain area of the body, then it's the brain that does those things and not us. And again, just to emphasize, people watching on the recording, if you want to find out more about this technology or you want to try it for yourself, just reach out to the person who's introduced you to this call or this recording and speak to them about having a trial, all risk-free with the 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you're watching this and record, thank you for watching.